Welcome to my home sewing studio. It's a bit of a mess right now. I just have boxes of stuff from the move kind of scattered everywhere, but I finally have all the stuff that I need to actually organize it. I'll show you a before here. I'll give you a little spin. Like I said, it is mostly just boxes, but the last time I showed this space, we just had the furniture that the landlord left, and we have now gotten rid of that. So Grace put these together for me yesterday, and I think they have such a cute little workshop vibe, so I'm excited to start kind of getting them set. This one is from IKEA, and we got it because it can be either standing height or sitting height, so you can lower it here either like all the way, or you can lower just the front part of it so that it's at a slant and it's more of like an easel. Got a lot of good use out of that, and the wood matches our little stools that we already had perfectly. The red on the stools matches the locker over here. Okay, so you see what we're kind of getting going here. This is another just IKEA desk. We got this one because I thought the open storage was really nice to get a few more shelves in here. There's also some shelves on the bottom of this guy, and I have this mustard-made locker that I'm going to be storing stuff in as well. Another pile of boxes here, as well as my new sewing machine and serger. I talked about why I got these in my last video, but I'm excited to christen the space with those. There are also these two built-in closets as a part of the flat. We'll see how much use I get out of those. I'm kind of like hoping to not put so much stuff in there because I think I want to leave room to grow, but we'll see where we get with that. I'm gonna start with my little red locker because I think this is like the most exciting piece of furniture. It's so sweet. Like it adds a cute little something to the space, but also I can hide a bunch of kind of ugly stuff in here and you would never know. So this is from Mustard Made, and it came kind of like an IKEA flat pack. We had this in our old flat and we used it to hang like coats and stuff in by our door. But now I'm gonna turn it into a little craft closet, which is so fun. It was really easy to move because it's actually quite light, and all the pieces, because it's like a flat pack situation, just pop off. So like one of our doors popped off, but we just slotted it back in there. With different rods, which I don't think I'm going to use because I don't think I hang much clothing in here, so I think shelves will be more helpful. It has these shelves and then these metal pieces that you fit into little slots inside of them so that you can hang the shelves at any point in the closet that you want. I have 4 pieces of shelf, and I think I'm going to do 2 like big ones all the way across, and then use for now this bottom area stack like stuff that I don't want out elsewhere. She's all set up shelves on the top half. In here, the notches that I was placing to put the shelves on, super easy. I'm thinking yarn up here, which means all of this stuff needs to get in there. I have some nice full skeins of stuff that I think I want to keep kind of at the front so that it reminds me that I want to do projects with them. And then when it comes to scraps and stuff, I tend to keep that mostly by color so that I'm looking to make some color schemes or put stuff together, I can do that easily. So I'm gonna start a pile here that's like all acrylic, and then maybe a like full skeins pile perhaps. This is cotton, which I don't actually use that much, but I feel like that should be separate. I have a lot of fun textured stuff that I like to use for weaving. That can all go together. This is a scarf that I was working on. It's like the one in progress thing that I moved with, but I recently got this yarn at a yarn swap, and I actually think it's gonna make a really cool scarf. So figuring out a whip bin for the living room is the next project. Done with that. When I was moving, I just stuffed yarn into a bunch of different bags because it's so light and it kind of filled them up nicely. One of my goals in moving to a new kind of like space to do my stuff out of is to not be afraid to like use my materials. Not for any reason, like I don't think that really changes when you go to a new place, but I guess it's just like a time where I can kind of start thinking about my practice and like what new intentions I want to have. Yeah, I feel like that's such a like artist thing, and specifically a craft thing, to like love your materials so much and think they're so pretty that you're afraid to like use them. Like I have this amazing glitter yarn. It's like, oh, it's so pretty. I love to look at it on the spool. Like, what am I gonna make with it that's so nice? And I feel like I wait for the perfect project, and I don't want to be doing that here. I also have this yarn, pieces of ribbon tied into it, and it's so, so gorgeous. And I've had it for nearly 2 years now, I think, because I can't think of the perfect project for it. I do keep a good bag of yarn scraps around. The warehouse, I order yarn from them a lot, sends their stuff in these like nice tool bags, and I like it because I can kind of like rummage around and see everything that's in here. So that's the scrap bag. It'll probably just go in the bottom of the locker. This is a bit like going through the ghosts of whips past, because I'm seeing I have like this blue yarn that I wanted to make a sweater out of. It's about to be sweater season again though, so maybe we'll give it another go. Oh my gosh, and speaking of stuff that I need to like not be afraid of using, beautiful pack of mohair. Really every yarn in it is just so gorgeous. I'm like afraid to touch it. I rarely even open up the box. All right, yarn stash reveal. This is everything that I have going. So over here, this is for a specific sweater project that I never got around to doing. Maybe this autumn I will. I'm gonna keep that all together because I want to hold those two kinds of blue together. This is also kind of like a favorite yarns reveal. So here are some collections of my favorites. So this is Drops Snow, I believe it's called. It's a very thick yarn, and I've made some sweaters out of it. It's kind of a roving-y. I like to use it for weaving because it's just a super thick piece of yarn. My really thin yarns here, I often hold these double with a thicker piece of yarn to just add a bit more texture and color to pieces. I love Wool & the Gang Take Care Mohair. I have a few things of that here, including the new striped one, which I'm excited to use, maybe for a fun scarf this autumn. This is my weaving stash, so I tend to use anything super textured. Sticking out of weaving, that is so cool. So I have that little stash there, multicolored. Langamira is a favorite cotton yarn of mine. I have some of that here. Drops Melody, my favorite mohair-ish. It's not actually mohair, but it kind of acts like that. I have a stash there. This is all my acrylic that I tend to use for one-off projects to test things. This is Filcolana Peruvian Highland Wool. I did a striped project with this a while ago, so I have a bunch of little skeins left of it, and I like all the colors they do. This is Filcolana Arwetta, I believe it's called. It's another like thin yarn. I really like this for holding double with something bigger, or just holding double with one of the other yarns in my stash here because it makes it just a little bit thicker to work with. Again, lots of fun colors. Mustard made these matching little bins as well, so I think I'm gonna put some of my smaller skeins in here just so that I can pull it out to see all of them instead of having like it fall all over in there. Scrappy bin, oh so cute in there. And then I can just insert it, I don't know, maybe to the side like that. The rest of this is a bit more random, so I'm just gonna stack it in a way that I think I can like see it on the shelf. A surprise to no one, I'm obsessed with color coordination, so I have all of my acrylic at the back of this shelf in rainbow order, super easy to find. I'm gonna do fabric in the front of this shelf, and then it'll be easy to just kind of pull it out if I need to get back there to see that stuff, but I like all of that. Here we have some of my like full skeins of yarn looking nice, scraps, and then these are all stacked by type of yarn they are. There's a little bit of extra room, so I guess that's like room to grow or just room to be able to like pull it out and sort through it effectively. Fabric time. I think this will be a bit easier just because I tend to only sort my fabric by color and then just stack it so that I can see each of it and like easily rifle through it. I'm gonna do piles of color here. Maybe some by product. Like I got all of this beautiful stack of fabric to make a quilt many months ago. I got around to it. I actually think that'll be a fun at-home project though, because when I was working from a studio, I never wanted to go there and like sit and quilt for hours. But now that I have this space, I feel so lucky. I feel like I could just like do a block here, a block there. Hopefully you see this happen soon. I keep some things to repurpose as fabric too. So we recently got some new sheets, and sheets often come in cute little bags. I might keep them as bags. I don't know what I'd put in here, but that is quite a nice size actually. But I also just like the fabric, so I'm keeping that in my stash. Maybe that'll become something. I also have some secondhand dresses I didn't really like the dress style of, but that make a really nice big piece of fabric and some good material, so I'm gonna stack some of those. I found more yarn. Are you kidding me? After I just organized it so beautifully. Hopefully I've already organized that shelf so well that this stuff can just slot in, you know, with the stuff that's like it. It's quite a lot though. Okay, it's being dramatic. It's not a crisis at all. So with that much fabric, I just stacked that on this shelf here and then made another yarn shelf here, and it actually works well that I can see everything all lined up. This is a pretty final look at the locker now. I've got my shelves of yarn, honestly looking very cute and organized. Up here, shelf of fabric, and then down at the bottom, I've just put my bags of scraps. So I have bags of fabric scraps, yarn scraps, ribbon scraps, other random things that I don't want out, like a bunch of padding and my blocking pads right there. I'm sure I'll be stuffing more into the bottom of the locker, but for now, just pay attention to this part. Work on this little cart next. Obviously, I'm doing all the fun stuff first. So this is on wheels. It's from IKEA. I think I've had one of these in like every room I've lived in. I was in like high school, so they are so handy. Just like reach in and get stuff. So I'm thinking this top level, I'm going to put kind of stuff that I'm constantly grabbing for. Since it's on wheels, I feel like I can take it to different parts of the room. So I could be like, okay, I'm over here. I need a measuring tape and some scissors. I'm cutting stuff. Then I'm like bringing it over to the sewing machine. I need my thread, my bobbins. That's kind of the vibe on the top here. Major upgrade. The whole time I was working in a shared studio, I kept all of my sewing stuff in this ratty Ziploc bag. I think this is literally the bag that I moved my sewing stuff over from the States in. Like I threw it all in this and put it in my suitcase. And it actually just made sense to keep it in there because I was having to like carry stuff from my desk into the sewing room, but now I just like have it all out. So this is very exciting. Why am I also a bit like weirdly emotional to throw away this bag? bag. It's kind of been my buddy. Some other things I feel like I should probably upgrade. I have all of my pins in this little cardboard bin that's fallen apart so many times that I've like taped every single corner of it back together and to like stay on. So maybe I should get like a nice bin for those. Thread, I do not have much of a collection because I so famously all in the same color scheme. So I have white, black, red, blue. Oh, darker blue, crazy. This is like a mess of thread, but I feel like that might be a problem for a different day. Actually quite nice to be able to like lay them all out and see them versus have them in another plastic bag. So that's good for now. I'll just put that right here. I just remembered I have these cute little bins. I got them at Sestrene Grene. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's just this little plastic bin. They lay flat and then you can pop them up. These are quite small, but I think that'll be really nice for catching just the like inevitable little stuff that comes in here. For example, I have this bag that is all elastic thread, like elastic perhaps. I haven't sewn these in forever. When I first started getting really into making garments, I made these little Alexa tags. Aren't they sweet? I was selling clothing for a while, and also just whenever I made something, I would put this in it because I was like, oh, if anyone finds this, like I want to have my own, you know, tag on there. Sweet to remember how excited I was to be able to like have those skills and brand my things. Got measuring tape, needles. Where did my scissors go? I had a really nice pair of like sewing scissors that have not like presented themselves in my boxes yet. So I'm definitely missing something, but is a problem for later. Hopefully as I keep going through stuff, I find it. What I do have is when I got my serger, it came with this pack of accessories. I'm just gonna load up the top of this bin with some of these in the meantime, and hopefully I find my other stuff as well. So this little mason jar, I'm gonna do X-Acto knives. Scissors, these do not look sharp at all, but I guess it would be good to have some out. I'm actually very excited for this seam ripper. It's like sizable. More sewing pins. See, this is like a better little tin for those. I'll put those out. Water soluble markers. I should find a pencil at some point, but I'm just gonna put a pen in for now. A bit lower, I'm gonna put all my shipping stuff in this second area. My label printer or postage. I actually just got a big shipment of this. Put that back there. Keep all of my stickers specifically for the welcome pack because there's 5 different stickers that go in that. And these little transparent bins, so that's nice. I can see what they are and they stack really easily in here. Actually, let me empty out. This is like extras for something, so I'll put those somewhere else because I don't need these all the time. And I'll put my sewing pins in this guy. Look how much better that is. Super nice. Okay. Anyway, back to the stickers. I'm going to keep a few of these out to put on my sewing machine cover. I'm gonna stack some of the latest issue of Material Girls magazine. That's obviously what I'm usually shipping the most of. I also came with this stack of like original prints of each of the magazines. I usually keep 3 for myself. I don't really know what I'm gonna do with these. I'll find like a better way to save them, but I think I might 2 of each like stored somewhere and then keep 1 of each out. I have a little shelf that I might hang up. It'd be cute to keep some of them out as like inspiration. Obviously very proud of this work. I made 12 of these, so I feel like while I'm working, I'd like to be surrounded by them. I think it's time for the most important part and also to get them off the floor. I'm gonna put my machines up. I have this cover for my sewing machine and I've never usually stored my machine with a cover on it, but I want to put stickers all over it, which I think could make the space kind of like cuter when I'm not sewing. We'll see if I like end up sewing so much that it doesn't make sense to keep it on. But sticker break, obviously I have my Material Girls stuff that will stick on. I have logo, Girls World, little globe, very cute. And then 2 of the recent Snail Mail Girl packages had this bow sticker and a little ribbon that says hottest girl at the craft store. Stickers from my friend Awana's Zine Club. Isn't that cute on holographic? So I'm gonna put the Zine Club on there. Brand is Artazine, so I'm gonna put that one on there as well. It's super cute. Then I have this Maya Man sticker that says scare the people that follow you. I went to a workshop with her and she does a lot of cool like coding based art where she will make pieces of code that like run through things. She did this cool project that was all like in the shape of squares and supposed to be like inspirational Instagram quotes, kind of showing like the irony of that. That's with everything she does, so this sticker reminds me of like all of her cool shit. Here's a look at that. Obviously we'll keep adding new stickers as I get them. I'm gonna be so honest, all of this is going straight into the closet over there because it's all workshop stuff that I don't need on the day-to-day, and I don't want to keep it in these cardboard boxes because most of them are kind of falling apart. It's not really a good system, but what I need to get is some nice plastic boxes that have handles so I can sort them based on like, okay, when I have a workshop that has fabric scraps, grab this box. I'll have one for like extra print like this. but all of this does just kind of need to be put away, and I don't have the boxes for it right now, so it's getting shoved in there. Put all that in there. Honestly, boring, but we'll just shove it away and deal with it later. Okay, we're on to finishing touches. I have some random stuff, like 15 scrunchies. I think they might be cute up here. Similarly with my headbands, I'm gonna stack these up here. I don't know, we'll try it and see what we think. I don't have a ton in the way of decor yet, but I have this amazing calendar from Knits and Notes. I'm just gonna hang up for now. It's just a bunch of cute girls posing in knitwear that they made, which is so fun. There's a new girl every month. On the locker, we obviously have a lot of magnet opportunities. I don't have many magnets. Grace made these a while ago with magazine cutouts and just glued them to magnetic strips, which I think is super cute. So I'm gonna put some of them up. They're like a cute decor. I stick some stuff with them, but they're not like super strong. During said magnet phase, she also cut up like hundreds of words from magazines and turned them into magnets. We can do word poetry, but that is gonna take a while to hang up on here, but I think that would be cute on the side as well. I hung up this little name tag from an event on the front, and I have a bunch of rosettes as well. When I get more magnets, I think sticking those around the front could be quite cute. Okay, we're gonna do a final look, but I'm realizing that it actually doesn't look that different because there's still nothing on the walls. There's just like stuff on the shelves, so hopefully that's interesting. Locker looking cute, and inside, hopefully it stays this beautifully organized because that just makes me want to craft when I see that. This is all stuff that I want to hang up eventually, so I need to get some magnets for that. And then we have a big open space. This room is actually huge. We're going to eventually get a futon, and there's the perfect amount of space for it, so I think that'll be a good hangout. Over here, we've got this workshop table. I've put fabric on the bottom, so perfectly underneath. There's nothing on top of it, and I think I'm gonna keep it that way most of the time because I want to be cutting here and for this to be a space where it's just kind of like ready to have stuff done on it. Lots of cords over here that need to be sorted, but this is the kind of like movable trolley. Sewing stuff on top, shipping stuff in the middle, and then I put just a bunch of like paper in the bottom. Shelves, I did office stuff. So this is our printer, my laptop. Grace is also gonna work from home in this space, so these are some of her work things. Jeans are looking very cute, and yeah, there's just a big blank wall up here, so I need to figure out what I'm gonna do more decor-wise now that everything is organized. I'm really excited to have this space. We've been living in this flat for a little bit over 2 weeks, and I haven't really done a lot in here, obviously because it was just a mess with everything over the floor, but now I feel like it's organized and in a place where I can actually use it. I might sew a bit tomorrow. I haven't actually used my new sewing machine yet, and it's time to start working on the next issue of Material Girls. So now that everything is in place, I'm gonna start running my business from here, doing all my shipping from here, making everything in one place. I'm excited to see the walls get covered with lots of different fun little creations. So stay tuned to see some more decor. Obviously I need to get some more inspiration going in the space. Back next week with another vlog. I share my life as a fiber artist in London, running a magazine, talking about things that I'm making, seeing, doing, reading. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you later.